New Amsterdam Season 5 Episode 7. The episode begins with the doctors discovering that Roe Wade has been overturned. The lack of dialogue in the opening enhances its impact. The scene only comes to life after the title card, with the hospital staff reacting to the news and Karen Brantley ordering everyone back to work. We then see how the case affects everyone and what they try to do to help. But, regardless of the resources available, this is much easier said than done. Dr. Lauren Bloom tries to convince Dr. Floyd Reynolds to cancel a tour they're giving to medical students. She says she can't forget about all the women out there with unwanted or dangerous pregnancies. Just forget about my own life, revealing she had an abortion. It was a long time ago. I was dependent on Adderall. I couldn't be pregnant, and I certainly couldn't be a mother. Reynolds, on the other hand, is concerned with the when. And, yes, it was during their time together. Reynolds presses Bloom to explain why she didn't tell him during the tour, which interrupts several of their conversations. This may blow your mind, she says, but I wasn't thinking about your feelings at all. He claims she didn't know what he wanted, but she says, I took your dumping me as a pretty clear indication. When you said I didn't fit into your life plan, would having your baby change that? And, as she sees it, they're now only discussing how he feels about it. We're unexpectedly, but not unexpectedly, taking care of you. Though Bloom initially tells him that she had no feelings about the abortion and that it was not a big deal, she opens up at the end of the tour when a student questions why they're acting as if nothing happened. Bloom tells Reynolds she's had 2 abortions, one in college after someone slipped something in her drink and she woke up in a stranger's bed with no memory of what happened, and the other when she fell in love with someone who would have made an amazing father, but he told me I didn't fit into his future. Both were trying times, but deciding whether or not to have an abortion was obvious. And I was able to do the right, responsible thing in a safe and timely manner, she continues. However, you know what? The circumstances should be irrelevant. You should be able to have an abortion if you are pregnant and do not want to be. That is the essence of freedom. Dr. Reynolds and I became doctors in order to help people. That is why we come here on a daily basis. It is our highest calling. Do you want to know my thoughts on today's ruling? Do you want to be doctors, nurses, or medical technicians? Then you should seriously consider a career in obstetrics and gynecology, because we require you more than ever. Reynolds later says he learned from what she said and joins her in marching. On the same day, Dr. Elizabeth Wilder must inform a patient that a D&C is required to treat her cervical cancer. Michelle, on the other hand, refuses. She was celebrating the end of Roe v. Wade this morning. As a result, Wilder considers other options. She eventually performs a high-risk surgery with lifelong consequences, but even that isn't enough, not after she sees how far her cancer has progressed. Again, Wilder suggests an abortion so that they can treat her cancer aggressively, but Michelle refuses and says she will find another doctor. As she sees it, this isn't just about her politics, but also about her beliefs and who she is. She asks Wilder what she believes in the most, then betrays it. If she can accomplish this, she will agree to Wilder's plan. But the doctor, who believes in the right to choose, is unable to do so. Protesters gather outside the Women's Health Center of the hospital. Dr. Iggy Frome intervenes to de-escalate the situation and ends up punching a man who grabs a woman trying to enter. Karen steps in and talks the man out of suing New Amsterdam and locking up Iggy if the psychiatrist apologizes. But Iggy is incapable of doing so. As a result, Karen hires Martin to talk sense into his ex. Martin is proud of him, but he is also realistic. They have children, and if one parent lost his job and got a criminal record, that would be trouble even in the best of circumstances. However, there is now concern that courts will reconsider outlawing gay marriage, and they may find themselves in a country where their children will be taken away from them. They can't be concerned about that or what Iggy's criminal record might mean in that situation. That reaches Iggy, who agrees to apologize and does so, after imagining a scenario in which he can't and lecturing the man on how he'd feel if one of his rights was taken away. Later, at home, their daughter Samira makes them proud by revealing that she will no longer be attending camp in South Dakota due to the abortion ban. It's insignificant, but it's all she can do. Karen turns to Max immediately after sending everyone back to work. Do something, correct this. He claims that the Supreme Court made a decision. What if I gave you free rein to all of the resources this hospital has to offer? What if the only words I said today were yes, and how much do you want? How can you assist? She asks, tearful. Max does call for something massive, something quick, something to help fix what happened today, reaching out to those most affected. He even attempts to recruit Todd to help him open an abortion clinic on a military base. That is not an option. But one of their conversations sparks Max's next idea, and he tells Karen about his plan to launch a chain of floating abortion clinics. If the boats are in federal waters, Texas residents will have a choice. The only issue, the boat he's considering won't even get to Jersey. I keep trying to think of all these legal ways around this decision when obviously the only solution is actually completely illegal, Max concludes. He wishes to establish an illegal clinic in Texas. It will not work. Then he suggests taking over an entire floor of New Amsterdam, with the hospital flying in patients from Texas. No, once more, Max wishes he could assist, but he simply cannot. Karen then reveals the personal reason for her willingness to provide Max with whatever he requires. Her best friend got in trouble and died in 1968 when the procedure went wrong. Karen then joined the fight, attending every march and protest. We fought and fought, and in 1973, we won. I can't believe we've returned. And Max is concerned about his daughter's future in this world. I'm sorry, Max, Karen says. I should not have requested that you fix this. It wasn't right. It wasn't plausible. What can a single person do? Later, at home, Luna notices her father is depressed. A sad event occurred today, not just to me, but to everyone. And I guess it made Daddy sad, mad, and frustrated, Max explains. I wanted to make your life a little easier. It was impossible for me. Perhaps tomorrow, Luna suggests. Unfortunately, perhaps not even tomorrow, but I'm not going to give up. No matter what, he says.
Thanks for watching, and if you are new to our channel, subscribe and click the bell icon so you do not miss out on our latest videos.